Hi, I'm Tammy and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to sew this stylish tiered maxi dress. The Raman Dress is a sewing pattern that is available to buy on my Etsy shop and my website, which is linked below. We're going to start by sewing the straps. With right sides together, we're going to fold the strap in half and pin along the entire length. Make sure to leave both short ends open. We're going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance and sew along the entire edge. So as you can see, we've sewn along the edge, and now we're going to take a loop turner and we're going to turn the whole strap right side out. You can also use a safety pin to turn the straps instead. I've given the straps a nice press for a clean finish. And now we're going to take one end and push the raw edges of the fabric inwards by 1 centimetre and sew it shut close to the edge. This will neatly finish one end. You want to do this for all 4 straps, and then remember to keep one side of the straps completely open. And that is all the straps completed. Now we're going to take our front bodice piece and lay the right side facing up. Make sure you've checked that you've marked where the notches are. Now taking the raw edge of the strap, we're going to pin this in place. Then sandwich the front bodice lining on top of this and pin around the whole neckline, making sure you catch the front bodice, the lining and the straps. We're going to sew along the neckline with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So this is what the top looks like now. We're going to want to reduce the bulk of the straps by snipping away any excess fabric. Now we're going to pull the top so the right side is facing out. To keep the lining on the inside, we're going to understitch the neckline. To do this, we're going to push the seam allowance towards the lining and sew really close to the edge. The patterns for the front and back bodice of this dress are identical, so complete the previous steps again to sew the back bodice neckline. Now we're going to sew the side seams. Flip the lining up and pin the bodice side seams together. This will look like one long seam where the lining is together at one end and the bodice front fabric is together at the other end. Do this for both side seams. Now we're going to sew this with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Reduce the bulk at the side seams by cutting away any excess fabric. Now we're going to turn the whole top right side out. I've just given this a nice press, and as you can see, I've also sewn in a label at the back, just to the back lining. That's the whole top complete. Now we're going to move on to making the skirt. The skirt is made out of 3 tier pieces. What we're going to want to do is take the first tier skirt piece and place them right sides together. Pin down the side seams and sew using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're also going to want to finish the seam with an overlocker. Now we're going to want to prepare the ruffle by folding the top edge of the skirt inwards by 1.3 inches and press this along the whole top edge. So I've just pressed this fold and this is what it looks like all the way round. Now we're going to sew a line of gathering stitches along this whole edge. Make sure to catch the skirt fabric and the folded ruffle when sewing. You'll want to sew the front section of the skirt without back stitching and leave enough thread to be able to pull, and then repeat the same for the back section of the skirt. This is what the top edge of the skirt should look like. Now we're going to want to gather the skirt to fit the circumference of the top. Push the gathers with your fingers towards the middle and pull the threads to create even gathers. So I've just gathered the skirt evenly and it fits the top perfectly, as you can see. Now what we're going to want to do is place the wrong sides up in front of us so the top is inside out. And then we're going to place the right side of the skirt inside the top. First we're going to line up the side seams and then we're going to flip the ruffle so it's facing the right side of the skirt. The neat ruffle edge will now be facing towards the rest of the skirt and the edge where the gathering stitches will be at the top. You will have 4 layers here: the main bodice fabric, the lining bodice fabric, the first tier skirt and then the folded over ruffle. You're going to want to pin around the whole edge. This can be quite fiddly, so just take your time. You can always baste this in place before sewing to check you catch all the layers. Sew this entire seam with a 1/2 inch seam allowance and overlock for a neat finish. So I've just finished the entire seam and overlocked the edge, and this is what it looks like. If we pull the top right side out, we can see this really cute ruffle that is neatly finished. Now the rest of this dress uses the exact same techniques for attaching the skirt as it does the 2 extra skirt layers. I won't show you this in this video as that would be really repetitive, but once you get to the last layer, all you'll want to do is hem the skirt, and that is the whole dress completed. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing how we sew the Raman dress. If you want to find this pattern, you can see in the description box there's a link to my Etsy shop and my website.